Can you be pro-black while interracially dating? Now, me, myself, I interracially date. And I have my own views on this topic, but I seen Ish from the Joe Budden podcast. He got into it with Dr. Umar about this, and Dr. Umar told Ish, hey, you ain't pro-black because your woman is white. Even though Ish is half white. And that's another thing I don't understand. People who are mixed, if you're half black and half anything else, they don't necessarily have to say they black. They could be like, hey, I'm half Italian and I rock with my Italian side. That don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to choose their black side. So that's one thing. But how you feel about it, bro? Because I seen you touched on it briefly on your podcast, and they went crazy on you in the comments.
Yeah, it was a lot of hate, and I understand it. So first thing I want to start off with is reading the definition of pro-black. So pro-black is a lifestyle that encourages the economic growth and development of the black people as a whole with the purpose of increasing the wealth and population of black people around the world. Whether it be spending money with black-owned business in your communities or online, promoting love for black people and encouraging black youth, is its sole purpose to keep uplifting black people in America to be proud at the same time. So can you be pro-black and interracially date? I would say yes and no, right? Can you be pro-black? Like, for instance, with Ish, he dates a white girl and he employs black people. So you could say him employing black people by that definition, right? And again, when you have your own business, you have the ability to employ who you want. Now, you cannot legally discriminate, but you can employ who you want and put in power who you want to. So he's dating a white girl, which could be seen as not pro-black. But then at the same time, he is employing people that are black, which means they're going to go home, they're going to have money, it's going to be spread within their community. And not only that, their kids that are black are going to have a good example of a mother or a father that works, you know what I mean, is disciplined, etc. So they're obviously going to take that example into their life and hopefully do it better. So you could say that. You could take Dr. Umar and you could say, okay, Dr. Umar has, you know what I mean, went around the world and put people onto what it is to be black and Pan-Africanism and opening up a school. But then you could also say he has 2 baby mamas that he doesn't speak to, right? So you could say that's not pro-black because he's not furthering the love within his community. So I think that the problem with it is we're taking one thing and discrediting the other thing that somebody does. Meanwhile, people are black, but at the end of the day, people are human as well. And I know I'm gonna get killed for that. But I say that to say that people make mistakes. There's pros and cons to everybody's life. So all the work that Dr. Umar did, should it be discredited because he had a fallout with two women and we don't really understand what that fallout was? You get what I'm saying? Should all the work and all the people that Ish employed that are black, should that be looked at as a negative now because he dates a white woman? When in the episode, he said he's dated black women before, numerous black women. So is this really a case of self-hate in his situation? Or is it a case of, I just bumped into this woman, I so happen to fall in love with her, and it is what it is? So I think a lot of us focus on the dating aspect of pro-black, and that is the only thing we focus on. That's it. And so when it's so much more than that, 86% of black men marry black women. So in that case, 86% of people will be pro-black. But I'm at the point where marrying somebody black or having a kid with somebody black, that's great, but that's not enough. Because if it was enough, why would we be in the position that we're in now? Take the government out of it, take all of the stuff out of it that comes to, you know, that's been stacked against us. The decisions that we have made over the past 60 something years. If marrying black and having a kid with somebody was black was the best thing that could happen, then why would we be in the position we are if we're just speaking on us and taking accountability? You had black fathers who dated someone black or married someone black, had a kid, and they was done before the kid even came out. So then that created a single parent home. Now, predominantly mothers. Now you have a black mother raising boys or girls. And those kids, if you go and look at statistics, and again, I'm not trying to bash our community because I know that's what's going to get looked at, but we got to take accountability. When you look at the statistics, without a father in the home, you're more likely to go to jail, more likely to be in poverty, more likely to have a teen pregnancy, etc. And this is coming from two black parents or a pro-black creation. So that's why I'm saying that it's not enough to just have a relationship with a black woman or a black man and then have a child. Like, that can't be the only thing that is seen as pro-black, because if that was the case, then shit, everybody would be pro-black. But look at what those, not all of those relationships, but a lot of relationships are teaching the kids, or how the kids are ending up. It's not aiding to any positive within the community. A big chunk of it is aiding to destruction. So, and then on top of that, you could say, oh, well, if you're pro-black, or if you Ish, for instance, he black, he married a white girl. Okay, we could take Colin Kaepernick, perfect example. I don't really like what he did with trying to go back to the NFL, but that's a biracial person, white mom, black dad. He fell on a sword for the whole NFL to show, and for police brutality, to show that black people were going through police brutality and it was unjust. And that's a mixed person. So that's one example right there that shows you that interracial kids aren't going to necessarily not know their blackness. Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
So it's nuanced. It's nuanced.
I get what you're saying. I say like this. You can interracially date and be pro-black, but I always believed in, if you're black, you should procreate with someone black. So I was never against interracially dating, but I always knew since a kid, like, nah, my kids, they had to be black. Like, they had to be no cut in them. Like, it had to be uncut, because this world, it makes you pick sides. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want them to have that internal battle, because you'll have a lot of interracial kids be depressed and say, well, damn, I got black friends and I got white friends too, but my friends is damn near like I gotta pick a side. So I never wanted them to have that battle. And then I just look at the animal kingdom. Like, you'll never see an elephant go fuck a rhinoceros. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, like,
it's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, nature is perfect. They act off perfect instinct, and they only mate with themselves. So to me, it just make perfect sense. So a lot of people get offended when white people say, I ain't got a problem with black people, but I just, I couldn't procreate with you. Oh my God, you're racist. It's like, how? I feel the same way. I ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate white people, but I feel you. You want to keep your race intact. You want to keep your race pure. Especially us, where our numbers are dwindling due to abortions. They say the most dangerous place for a black baby to be is in her mother's stomach. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do your research and go deep down the rabbit hole of why that was even created, it was for that reason. You know what I'm saying? I think her name was Margaret Sanger or some shit like that. Look her background up, and then you'll see like how fucked up it is to even be black and then go get an abortion. That in itself is crazy, and a whole nother topic we can get on. But as far as interracially dating, because I interracially date now, both my kids are full black, their mother's black. I don't see a problem with, if your relationship didn't work out with your kid's mom and you went and now the love of your life is Hispanic, or the love of your life is Egyptian, or any other race, Asian, whatever the case. If that works and that is going to get a 2-parent household for your kids and give them a better opportunity for the future, do that. Yeah. Because it's a lot of 2-parent black households where both the parents, they fucked up mentally. So is it a better household because they got 2 parents? Whereas if he would have went and got an Asian wife and their community is big on education and they pushing his kids to be better educationally than they own mother would. Because I ain't gonna speak on my own life so much, but I know a lot of people who, they had kids, it didn't work out, they went and got somebody else, and now the stepmom does more than the real mom. I know that. But then the community be like, oh nigga, you a sellout. She's fucking white. But she cared more about his kids than the real mom. I seen it in real time. So is he wrong? And like you said, pro-black is bigger than dating. Like they'll say, okay, which this makes sense to me too. Let's just say you get rich, you pop, bam, you go have a kid with a white lady or a Hispanic lady or Asian lady, and you die. Now your wealth goes to her. Where's that money going? Is she gonna give it to your community or her community? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, oh, she gonna give it to her community. But let's be real. The average person ain't giving a goddamn thing to the community. Exactly, yeah. If you think for 1 second you're gonna be black, get rich, die, and all of a sudden your fucking wife is going to become some humanitarian and start donating her riches and wealth to the community, you got another thing coming. We have millionaires right now that ain't doing a fucking thing for their community, and they're alive. Their husband, they're alive right now, not doing shit. So that whole argument, it sounds good in retrospect and it makes sense, but it's just not realistic. Now I can see the money going to your kids, and then that being passed down to their kids and their kids. And that's a form of putting money back in the community. So that argument makes sense, because if my kid is half white and then they grow up and then they choose a white mate, then they procreate. Okay, now you're right. The black blood is being eliminated from your bloodline. And in a couple generations, that bloodline will be turned around and that wealth will be in their community. So it makes sense that way. But I was a guy, I wanted to hit a female from every race. I ain't gonna lie.
Come on, man.
I wanted to fuck a female from every race on the planet. That was a bucket list.
Women
like, you
are
want to
beautiful.
go see
like,
the 7 wonders of the world? I want the 7 wonders of vagina that's out here.
Yeah.
And I'm damn near there. I done hit damn near all of them. Like, I really got to sit down and think about it, but I think I'm almost there. I think I done hit them all. But hey, man, shout out to everybody. Shout out to humans.
We don't discriminate exactly when it comes to that. And I feel like what we're saying right now is like, again, it's bigger than just who you date. And I've realized that the black community focuses so much on relationships, even in the podcast, right, that we create, and you know that a lot of people go viral for, et cetera. Like it's very focused on relationships. And that's where it stops. It's like we don't talk about economics, we don't talk about education, we don't talk about emotional control and intelligence and, you know, all these other things that add to it. And it's
Facts.
like we limit ourselves to just relationships. And like you said, like everybody is pro-black when they see somebody, and this is the kind of the gripe that I have with the community, is that you could give your money to Gucci, you could give your money to Louis, right? That's not pro-black. You could teach colorism in your house, which is a lot of us grow up with that. But as soon as you see a relationship that is interracial or something you don't like, now all of a sudden you're the spokesperson to be pro-black. Like, that's the shit that I don't necessarily like. It's like a lot of us out here aren't really doing anything to better the community or further the community or the conversations about our community. But as soon as you see somebody with a white girl with a black dude or a black girl with a white dude, all of a sudden you're pro-black. Meanwhile, you don't buy black. You don't put your money back in with your community. You damn near know your lineage and the history of us, but where it becomes your pro-black is when it's about dating. It's never about when it's what schools we're going to, who we banking with. You get what I'm saying? What markets we going to. It's never about that. Where we buying our clothes from. You know what I mean? Who are we listening to on social media? It always comes down to dating. That's the only thing that we ever talk about when it comes to pro-black. And to me, it's like, I understand it. Like, I understand the relationship we have with white people. So, and in my opinion, like, would I marry a white girl? Nah, I don't think so. Like, it's some shit you might fuck around with, and, you know, when you're a kid or whatever, but as you get older, you understand what it really is. So I completely get that part. But just the fact that people are out here saying you can't do something is just what bothers me, because it's like everybody's different and is going to think different regardless of their skin tone. And I don't think other races necessarily try to prohibit people in their culture from thinking differently. We get killed for thinking differently in ours. So
see, look, it's like they say, victory goes to the person who could tell a simple story that the audience can relate to. This is why they only focus on the relationship shit, because you're not taught about credit. You ain't taught about financial literacy. You ain't taught about business. So as soon as you come preaching that shit, it's like the Charlie Brown teachers just womp. It's like you talking about some shit I don't know. I don't have no idea what the fuck you talking about. I'm zoning it out. But part of being a human is being in relationships, from friendships to family to romantic. That's something everybody can relate to, and it's easy to understand. So this is why we cling to it. But anything past that is we zone it out. And I'm not gonna put the complete blame on the people, because they're not being taught that. And it's a lot of programming going on, subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? They putting images in your mind to make you hate yourself. And this is done from birth. So I don't completely 100% fault the people, but you got to take accountability as well. It's like, we know all this, Before the age of information and you had a laptop in your pocket, these iPhones, these Androids, okay, cool. We could say, oh, they finesses. They control what's going in the books and blah, blah, blah. And they control what's going in the school system. But nigga, information's free. It's out there. You can go get it. Like every trap that's out here, we know what it is. Like, so we can't use that as an excuse no more. But just to tie it back into what I like you was saying, it's on us. It's on our community, because that's one problem we have. We looking for everybody else to save us. It's like, no, nigga, you have to save yourself. Yeah. Ain't nobody just come finna just rescue you. It's like, you want this information, we got to give it to ourselves. Like you said, are you shopping black? Well, I don't even care about shopping black. If you got dope product, I'm coming to buy that shit. Bottom line, you're not about to sit here and figure out who racist and who not. I don't give a fuck, man. Money is green. If we could do business together and we can make money, let's do it. You ain't even got to like me. I don't give a shit, bitch. I don't like you either. But we can make some money, let's do it. Like, you feel me? So that's how I feel about it.
No, that's just, I was just, kind of throwing that out there to show people, like, when you get on somebody else, you know what I mean? See what you're doing yourself before you become a spokesperson for what's pro-black and what's not. Like, and I think a lot of black men, I think you have two sides to it. Like, I think you have the side where people are dated interracially because they just vibe with whoever they date. Then you have other people that do, have some self-hate where they like, man, I only fuck with white girls. When you start hearing niggas talk about like, I only fuck with white girls because
that's the problem.
Because black bitches be having attitudes or something. That's when it's like, okay, that's weird shit.
All these bitches got attitudes,
Every single one of them. It don't matter what color.
I don't give a fuck. If she is a female, she got female chromosomes, she get a period once a month, that bitch has an attitude, man.
Over with.
I don't care who it is. You niggas is weirdos. All this, that's a part of the self-hate though.
Exactly.
And I see that a lot. Because people got this red pill shit confused. It went from cleaning up your own backyard to saying fuck your backyard. I need to be in their yard. Yeah. And that's where the line needs to be drawn at. It's like, the red pill lane wasn't, as far as from the black community, as far as the dating shit goes, this was to point out the problems and let's get a solution. Not to say, well, fuck you, I'm not dating black women. I'm dating white women. I'm dating Asian women. I'm passport bro. Or women saying, well, fuck niggas, I'm only dating Tom, Dick, and Harry. I don't even date black. Now you done crossed the line. How are you pro-black if you saying fuck your own people? That don't make no goddamn sense.
It don't. And I had somebody, say, dude is talking, in my comments talking about, dude is talking about pro-black, but talking about a white credit score. And the shit made me laugh.
Credit score being white is crazy.
You get what I'm saying
about? Credit score being white is crazy. And hey, listen.
Like, this is the shit I'm talking about when it's like, y'all got to think deeper than just the relationships. Like, you're calling a credit score white. We live in a capitalistic society where credit is vital to what you get. The interest rates you get, how much you pay on something, like, you need credit. You gotta, like, I don't understand how a credit score could be white, or things of that type of importance could be deemed as white.
Usually tie it to white because most businessmen that you see, that CEOs or whatever, they're white, and it's understood they got A1 credit. So, we'll make jokes like, I spend money like a Jewish person. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things that ties into it. But that's why I denounce a lot of degeneracy in our society, because that's what they view us as. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to attach that to our society. When you think of us, think of success.
No, that's a fact. Really, the last thing I want to say on it, can you be pro-black and interracially date? I mean, some will say yes and some will say no. But I think, when it's all said and done, trying to do something that's better for your community, and if you are doing that, don't let nobody take that away from you because of certain decisions you made, whether that be you dating somebody who ain't black, whether that be you maybe had a fallout with your baby mama and she black, like, whatever it is, if you're doing something to further the community, don't let people online that 9 times out of 10 ain't doing shit, you know what I mean, get in your head and make you feel like you're not doing something, because actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. So when it comes to pro-black, to me, your actions matter more. And again, there's a negative and a positive to each thing. So you might do something, again, that makes you pro-black, and you might not. But that could be in every single race. So
look, man, date who you want, love who you want. You can't control who you fall in love with. But as far as procreating go, I do think you should procreate with your own. That's just me. That's just my beliefs. Now, if you choose not to, hey, who am I to say what's right and wrong? You know what I'm saying? You live in life on your own terms. Yeah. But to the ones who do date interracially, don't look at that like some type of life award, and now you're looking at your own people like you're looking down on them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just hit the lotto or some shit. That's where the weird shit comes in at.
No, and I definitely think you should want to procreate with your own kind, like to further the bloodline. I think that's something that, you know, to a certain degree we do lack in our community, is we have the self-hate within our community and the colorism where some people want their kids to be lighter and, you know, have access to certain things, so they do go outside of their race and step outside of it. But if it's natural, then, I mean, do what you do. But for sure, try to procreate with your people always.
One last thing I'm going to say. If you do interracially date and you do interracially procreate, teach your kids the motherfucking history. The school ain't gonna teach them. Teach them their own history to where they don't grow up hating one half of themselves. I see that a lot. I live in a predominantly white and Asian community, and the kids that are mixed, a lot of them have a lot of self-hate. Where my kids was getting in altercations with them, and they like, Dad, I don't get it. They're black. Like, they got black parents, but they're taught to hate themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So teach your kids the motherfucking history, man.
Nah, yeah, I dealt with that too. And that's really that's why I brought up the Kaepernick example, because it shows how, like, you know, it is up to the parents, interracial or not, to instill in them the values and the history of their people. And then if you do that correctly, they're going to put on for their people regardless. So,
hey, shout out all the women, man. I don't care what color you is. If you beautiful, I'm rocking with you, man. It's like Pokemon. I'm trying to catch them all, man. White, black, Asian, Hispanic. I need them all.
That's a fact.
Good pussy is good pussy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Excuse my language.
Nah, we don't discriminate.